The world was constructed like a model aeroplane?
No, but it existed in pothe and in a large scale plan before The Hobbit was written. The Hobbit was in fact originally an attempt to write something outside it and grew into it.
Hello everyone, hiya. My name is Alan and this is Motor on Beep Beep, and I'm here at Wolverton Cemetery at a very clever spot, Oxford, and I'm here to find the final resting place of j.r.r. Tolkien, or to give his full name, it's John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. So between 1925 and 1945, Tolkien was a Rowington and Bosworth Professor of the Anglo-Saxon and a Fellow of Pembrokeshire College, which are both in Oxford. So he was a clever guy. Then he became the Merton Professor of the English Language, also at Oxford. So this is a very, very clever guy, especially with languages. I wouldn't like to take him in on Countdown on TV, I think I'd lose. But yeah, I mean, we all know his films, don't we? The films were phenomenal successes, really. I'll give you a quick guide of the place. Look, let's have a quick spin round. There we are. Quite nice, isn't it?
You're obliged, any author I imagine is obliged to call on his stock, private stock.
Is this another word for what Freud would call the unconscious?
No.
No, I didn't think it was. I
No,
want to make it clear.
both. What is himself, both, no doubt, what he inherits, his unconscious, and what he has is part of his mental makeup and reading, his memory. But he may not have the object of revealing that, or lecturing to anybody, or even trying to put forward his view as a total one or a good one.
And the books were turned into 6 highly successful films: The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, The Hobbit, The Dissolution of Smaug, and The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. And they all did extremely well, of course. Made a bob or two, no doubt. Why not? Wouldn't Tolkien have been pleased if he could have seen the films that they made from his books? I wonder if he'd have been surprised or not. He was also a very gifted linguist. He could speak German, Celtic, Finnish, Greek. Yeah, very bright. And I know it's going to say Barian and Luthien on the grave, because that was one of the earliest tales of Middle-earth by Tolkien. It was edited by his son Christopher after his death. So we will see that in a minute. Edith Bratt and Ronald Tolkien were formally engaged in Birmingham in January 1913 at St Mary's Immaculate Catholic Church at Warwick on the 22nd of March 1916. In his 1941 letter to Michael, Tolkien expressed admiration for his wife's willingness to marry a man with no job, little money and no prospects, except for the likelihood of being killed in the Great War. During his life in retirement from 1959 up to his death in 1973, Tolkien received steady increase in public attention and literary fame. In 1961, his friend C.S. Lewis even nominated him for a Nobel Prize in Literature. The sales of his books were so profitable that he regretted that he had not chosen early retirement. In a 1972 letter, he deplored having become a cult figure, but admitted that even the nose of the very modest idol cannot remain entirely untickled by the sweet smell of innocence. Fan attention became so intense that Tolkien had to take his phone number out of the public directory, and eventually he and Edith moved to Bournemouth, which was then a seaside resort patronised by the British middle-upper class. Tolkien's status as a best-selling author gave them easy entry into polite society, but Tolkien deeply missed the company of his fellow Inklings. Edith, however, was overjoyed to step into the role of society hostess, which had been the reason that Tolkien selected Bournemouth in the first place. The genuine and deep affection between Ronald and Edith was demonstrated by their care about the other's health, in details like wrapping presents in the generous way he gave his life up at Oxford so he could retire to Bournemouth. They were tied together too by their love for their children and grandchildren. Edith died on the 29th of November 1971 at the age of 82. Ronald returned to Oxford, where the Merton College had given him convenient rooms near the High Street. He missed Edith but enjoyed being back in the city. Tolkien was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 1972 New Year's Honours. He received an insignia of the Order of Buckingham Palace on the 28th of March 1972. In the same year, Oxford University gave him an honorary Doctorate of Letters. He had his name Luthien engraved on Edith's tombstone in Wolvercote Cemetery, Oxford. When Tolkien died 21 months later, on the 2nd of September 1973, from a bleeding ulcer and chest infection at the age of 81, he was buried at the same grave with Barian added to his name. Tolkien's will was proven on the 20th of May 1973, with his estate valued at £190,577, equivalent to £2,452,000 in 2021. In 1980, Christopher Tolkien published a collection of more fragmented material under the title Unfinished Tales of Numenor and Middle-earth. In subsequent years, 1983 to 1996, he published a large amount of the remaining unpublished material, together with notes and extensive commentary, in the series of 12 volumes called The History of Middle-earth. They contained unfinished, abandoned, alternative and outright contradictory accounts, since they were always a work in progress for Tolkien. There was not a complete consistency between The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, the two most closely related works, because Tolkien never fully integrated all of their traditions into each other. He commented in 1965 while editing The Hobbit for the third edition that he would have preferred to rewrite the book completely because of the style of its prose. And finally I can see one more little brown sign now, and it's pointing inwards, so we must nearly be there. Look, there we are, J.R.R. Tolkien, author. It's great that they come all the way from the entrance doors. Wish they did that every time. Oh God, we don't have to go far. Look, here we are. Oh, it's really good. Lots of fresh flowers being left there. There's a candle burning. Some of the Lord of the Rings DVDs. Yeah, very nice. Very, very popular. Okay, let's read the stone then. There we go. Edith Mary Tolkien, Luthien, 1889 to 1971. John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, Barian, 1892 to 1973. That's super. Oh look, some little rings on the top there. Lots of coins. Lots of flowers there being left. Really, really popular. Thank you, J.R.R. Tolkien, for the wonderful books that made great films. Well done. Yes, very good. See it from there. Somebody's left a little box there with a gift in. Yeah, it's great. Very well celebrated author, you can see that. So in the time that I was here today, I found the grave quite easily because of the signs. But I was setting my drum up, and I think there was at least 6, 7, 8 parties of Tolkien fans that came to see the grave. So popular. Don't think I've ever seen as many, one after another. I had to wait. I had to actually wait for my turn. And once I moved away, somebody else moved in. Crikey. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and ding the bell so you see future films. You don't miss any, it's free. And a thumbs up. I love the comments, I'll get back to you. So take care everyone, enjoy your day wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye from me, Alan. Bye.